And I give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Thank you, Madam President. We'd like to thank the Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, Nikolai Mladenov, for his report in the occupied Palestinian territories. We would also like to thank Tanya Hari for her statement. Unfortunately, we have to note that as we discuss the situation in the Middle East in this chamber, again and again we talk about a deteriorating overall situation in the region. Instead of heeding the calls to consolidate international efforts to settle old and new crises, we see unilateral actions that in absolutely no way fit in with the logic of a quest for compromises and collective actions. I mean, first and foremost, the issue which is at the heart of the problem for the region, the Palestinian-Israeli settlement process. 2 days ago, the US made yet another step to undermine the whole gamut of agreements. It was stated that the American authorities no longer deem Israel's settlement activities in the West Bank as a violation of international law. Furthermore, it was underscored that this is thus a recognition of the realities on the ground. For us, such realities are unacceptable and illegal. It is clear to us that this step heightens an already tense situation in Israeli-Palestinian settlement. This statement is the same as the decisions of the U.S. administration on Jerusalem and on the illegal recognition of Israel's sovereignty over the occupied Syrian Golan Heights. This is a gross violation of international law, in particular Security Council Resolution 497. In this context, once again, we'd like to state that the Golan, of course, is Syrian territory that Israel occupied and then illegally annexed. Now, regarding the efforts to normalize the situation in the region, there are the Israel rocket fires into Syria that over recent days have been intensified. These actions are of serious concern to us, and we don't like them at all. We confirm the principal position reflected in Security Council Resolution 2334, according to which the building of Israel of settlements in the Palestinian territories occupied from 1967, including East Jerusalem, have no legal force and they are a violation of international law. Furthermore, they are one of the main obstacles to achieving settlement based on the two-state solution and also the establishment of a just, lasting and comprehensive peace in the Middle East. For us, the internationally recognized basis of Middle East settlement, including the Security Council resolutions, the Arab Peace Initiative and the Madrid Principles, remain immutable. Apart from this, we are, like our colleagues, are concerned by the escalation regarding the Gaza Strip with the launch of rockets into Israel territory and the responding shelling. There's also a need for active international efforts to improve the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza. We are convinced that today there is really the need to adopt practical measures to get the peace process out of its dangerous deadlock. First and foremost, there needs to be an end to Israeli settlement activity and the policy of demolishing Palestinian property. Russia, both bilaterally and in other formats, continues its efforts to resume direct dialogue between the Palestinians and the Israelis. We, as most of our colleagues, feel it's clear that the only solution to this problem is coupling international or regional efforts with the central role to be played by the UN and its Security Council. We deem the quartet, whose functioning was approved by numerous Security Council resolutions, to be a relevant mechanism that is needed more now than ever. Madam President, voting on the Middle East bloc of resolutions in the Fourth Committee last week clearly showed the growing support from the international community for the principles of settlement we mentioned. We deem the support expressed to the UN Refugee and Work Agency to be extremely important. The work of UNRWA is not only humanitarian, but it also has a political dimension. It has an important stabilizing effect on the Palestinian territories and the countries of the Middle East. Israel and Palestine have important religious significance for hundreds of thousands of followers of monotheistic religions. A swift establishment of lasting peace in these lands is in the interests of all Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Madam President, in conclusion, I'd like to underscore that the outstanding Palestinian problem, along with the years-old instability in the region, will lead to an increase of potential for protests and even radicalism. The situation requires unified efforts from the responsible participants of the international community. The Secretary-General does have instructions to conduct work in this area in line with Security Council Resolution 598. Of particular importance is the need to develop a sustainable mechanism for collective security in the region based on equal dialogue. The relevant Russian initiative indeed seeks to unblock the conflict situations and develop measures for trust and control. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for his statement.